Judge Walter Grayson thought he was about to sentence a clueless teenager. But the moment the defendant opened his mouth, the entire courtroom realized the truth. They weren't dealing with a kid at all. They were dealing with someone who understood the law better than the people accusing him. The air inside the Los Angeles County Courthouse felt thick, almost suffocating. Rows of spectators filled the gallery, whispering, watching, waiting. At the defendant's table stood 19-year-old Jalen Dawson, accused of grand theft auto and resisting arrest. He stood calmly, hands in his pockets, chin slightly raised. Not arrogant, just unafraid. Judge Grayson leaned back in his chair, tapping his fingers on the desk, a smirk curling at the edge of his mouth. You think you're some kind of legal expert? This isn't a debate club, kid. Laughter rippled through the courtroom, but Jalen didn't flinch. He had spent years studying the legal world. While other kids memorized basketball stats, Jalen memorized case law. While his friends played video games, he broke down mock trials in his head. His mother, Denise Dawson, worked as a paralegal for over 20 years. And Jalen grew up listening to story after story about how the system really worked. Prosecutors cutting corners, judges playing favorites, defense attorneys who barely cared. By 14, he could analyze a trial better than most law students. But Judge Grayson didn't know that. To him, Jalen was just another teenager in trouble. The prosecutor, Mitchell Carrington, rose from his seat with rehearsed confidence. He told the court that Jalen had been caught red-handed inside a stolen 2022 Audi A6. He spoke of fingerprints, a police chase, and a clean-by-the-book arrest. On the surface, it sounded like an open-and-shut case. Judge Grayson nodded. Sounds straightforward to me. But Jalen simply remained still, watching, waiting. He already saw the cracks forming. When the judge called for the defense, Jalen's public defender stood nervously. But Jalen gently placed a hand on her arm. I'll be representing myself, Your Honor. The courtroom went silent, then erupted in whispers. Jalen stepped forward. Prosecution, he asked calmly. You said Officer Daniel Ruiz personally saw me behind the wheel. Correct. Carrington nodded. That's written in his report. Jalen looked straight at the judge. Your Honor, I move to dismiss that testimony, because Officer Ruiz wasn't even on duty when the chase began. Gasps filled the gallery. I request the GPS logs from his patrol car. Jalen continued. If he was where he claims he was, the data will confirm it, but I'm confident it won't. The prosecutor hesitated. Too long. Everyone noticed, and the judge ordered the logs. Crack number 1. The prosecutor tried to recover. Well, his fingerprints were found on the steering wheel. Jalen nodded. That's true, but fingerprints don't prove theft. If you try on a jacket in a store and someone steals it later, does that make you the thief? Jurors exchanged glances. I touched that car earlier that day. It was unlocked outside a 7-Eleven. I leaned on it, opened the door. A dumb moment of curiosity, not a crime. Then came the deeper cut. Your Honor, where's a forensic specialist who processed those fingerprints? Were they subpoenaed to testify? The prosecutor swallowed. No. So the state wants to convict me based on evidence from an expert who isn't even here, to be questioned about accuracy or procedure. Silence. Judge Grayson rubbed his forehead. This case was crumbling fast. But Jalen wasn't done. Your Honor, he said, stepping forward, I'd like to enter an official statement from the owner of the vehicle, Mr. Raymond Whitaker. The courtroom froze. Mr. Whitaker says the vehicle was never stolen. He loaned it to a friend that night. He never reported it missing. And he has no idea why Officer Ruiz filed a stolen vehicle report on a car that wasn't stolen. The room exploded with murmurs. Jalen placed a document on the judge's bench, and Mr. Whitaker is prepared to testify under oath. Judge Grayson slammed his gavel, trying to regain control of the courtroom. But it was over. He stared at the prosecutor. Do you wish to continue this case? Carrington had no answer. Finally, the judge sighed. Case dismissed. Gasps. Shock. Silence. Jalen simply nodded, not in triumph, but in confirmation of what he already knew. Knowledge is power, and even a 19-year-old kid can dismantle an entire courtroom if he understands the system better than the people running it.